Silence. A breath cuts through the silence, and then again, silence. A labored breath works its way over the silence, and then more silence. Breathing. Breathing. A rhythmic pant takes away the silence, getting louder and louder until you wish there was silence again. But it's too late. The silent part is over. Now it's time for the breath. In. Out. It's a heavy breath, but not out of control. It's measured. It's patterned. The breathing has a purpose. It pulls in and it pushes out. The breathing doesn't wish for a return of the silence. It is in control, and that is what it wants. Just breathe. Just breathe, the runner thinks. A crackle. A crisp crackle of dried something. Wheat, maybe? Are they stones? Listen. Do you hear it? Can you hear the crackling? It is a sound of stones. It is a sound of when shoes crack stones under the strain of running away. It's the strains that come when a mind screams, "Please run away! Help me, stones, to run away!" But they don't. Don't cry, run. Don't cry, just run. What would you be willing to give up for a run if what you ran from was the end? What would you give up? A treat? A child? The silence? Run. Just run. And when you can't run anymore, just run. Get away. Run. The runner stops. His breath has fallen behind him, and now he must stop to catch it. He leans over and catches his breath. From above, he is just a dot, a speck of humanness in a field where real life exists. That grass around him isn't leaned over for breath. No, it blows. It sways. The air above him isn't still. It is highlighted by a red haze that dances and moves and creeps closer. It plans. It schemes. It approaches. The runner hears the schemes and stands up. Terror washes white across the runner's face. It is too late. The ground around the runner has grown tired of his laziness, and it goes away. The horizon is first to go out of sight. Next is the field from the furthest forward. Soon the earth is tired of the runner's lack of running, so it goes away too. And all that is left is the runner and the darkness. The hollow darkness. The scary darkness. The home in which all dark things live. It's coming. From the darkest part of the darkness it approaches like the mustangs. Its hooves trample the world beneath its darkness, and the heat withdraws in fear of it. It is like death. In its majesty and feel, it is like death. In its shape, in curves, it is like death. In its eyes and its soul, it is like death. But it isn't. Instead it glows, and it feels, and what it feels makes it red. Always glowing red. Always seeing red. It is like death. The breathing runner breathes no more, because soon after he is running. The earth approves, the sky approves, and each of them return with his action. There is darkness no more. Running, 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 and then free. The runner is free now. No one chasing him. Nothing to think about but the next run. There it is. There it was. And now there's another. He is free. Running is freedom. To stop brings death. No, it brings something like death. Running is freedom. Not running is like death. He must keep running and running. When he is tired, he must keep running. When all hope is lost, he must keep running. I can't keep running, he thought. There's a factory up ahead. I can't keep running, there's a factory up ahead. The runner plans his escape from this endless run. He figures that the fence that protects the factory from the nothingness that surrounds it will also protect him from his demons. He plans his escape. He jumps. He grabs the links between his hands and he climbs. He struggles. The links tear the flesh from his hand and he whimpers. Blood pours down upon the ground, and into the earth it retreats. Moving up is not moving forward, and with great judgment the earth doesn't approve. Darkness returns, and with it the sound of a stampede trembles in. And the Reaper, the Red Reaper, that is all like death but not, all like fury but not, approaches. With sickle in hand it prepares, it aims, but when the runner throws himself forward over the fence, it goes away. The runner, crawling forward, keeps away from the darkness. Leaving a trail of blood, he stays the darkness. But between his bloody victory and the wall he stops. Darkness returns. New deaths return. But this time it is death. Little mini deaths all lined up to him. All shouting, "Cry! Cry! Why won't you cry?" These little deaths move in. The runner shakes them off. He battles them off and spots a ground-level window. So with his bloody stump, his mangled stump, he breaks the glass, shakes off the grips of death, and wiggles through. The light, he thinks, rules. Always keep moving. Never stop moving and always find the light, he thinks. The runner follows the rules, and the darkness of the factory becomes light. The runner rounds the space in circles. He follows the rule of never stop running. He can't stop running because when he stops running, it is death, or something like death. But he's tired. He's so tired, and the last thing he wants is to keep running, so he stops. It reappears. Inside now they all come. 1, the Red Reaper, and 2, all the mini deaths that follow. The runner runs. The Red Reaper goes away, but the mini deaths remain. They're stairs, he thinks. If I can't move forward, then I will move up. The mini deaths follow him to the stairs, but only he moves up. Ascending, he remembers the rules. Never stop moving forward, even when it's up. But I'm so tired, he thinks. So bloody tired. Why must I keep running if I'm so tired? But he runs. He ascends. He breaks through the door, and then he stops. Rule 1, turn on the light. Rule 2, never stop running. The runner starts his pace, and with no space, chases his own tail in a circle. It works. He keeps the darkness away. But he realizes that he can't circle forever, so he stares at the window. Through them is a press, a smelting press, and to it is a catwalk. So instead of chasing his own tail, he breaks through the window and throws himself onto the catwalk. Shards of glass penetrate his face. They cleanse it by letting out all the bad things inside of him. And as the badness drips down his face, he remembers the rules, and again he keeps running. But this time there is nowhere to run. Looking up from the catwalk, there are Reaper's mini deaths, and down the other way are more. He remembers the rule to never stop running, so he turns and climbs into the press. And as soon as the press gets his first taste of warm human flesh on its lips, it shuts on. Up the plate moves, and the runner is safe. The press is steamed at its luck, and it lets the runner know. As the press goes through its long cycle that will bring it back down, the runner crawls, then crouches, then stands on the plate. The press is steamed. Before he gets out, the runner stops. Just outside of the press waits more of the mini deaths, so the runner must turn around toward the part of the press that faces nothing. The runner crouches. Taking a second, he sees a horizontal pole that extends out towards a window. So on his knees, with no place to go, he grabs hold of the outer lip of the flat press, and he pulls himself there. Escaped, the press says, with steam coming out of its mouth. I can't stop running, he thinks. So before the press can lift him back up, he throws himself off of the plate onto the horizontal pole that points his way to freedom. Never stop running, he thinks, and then shimmies his way across. At the end of the pole is a pulley on a track, and on that pulley are the building's long chains that wait for him. At the end of the pole, the runner throws his hand out. Got it, he grasps. With one hand that is much closer to freedom, he lets his trapped hand go, and again he's on the move. He's rolling forward. When the rollers of the track meet their end, they are close enough away that he can latch his feet around the chain in front of him and then let go. Upside down, he can see where he's going. The window up ahead of him frames his freedom, and there's nothing that can stop him but luck. Horrible luck. Death-like luck. Panting. Breathing, and then silence. The runner hangs upside down, swaying in silence. He grabs onto the next chain, which allows him right side up. The new chain rolls across its track and stops outside the window. 3 feet outside the window. Freedom. Silence. That which is like death. Terror returns to the runner's face. Utter terror. The heartbeat turns, yet there is no relief. The sky scorns and then takes its retreat. The earth moans in its replete. It is the darkness that returns, and with it is the silence. Hanging in this dark room, the runner feels like death is approaching, but he's wrong. It is like death that approaches. It holds its sickle in front of the runner, and it is like death, but not. The runner looks down and desperately reaches his toes, hoping that in the darkness the ground will appear. It does not. When the Red Reaper lifts its sickle to the runner's chest, the runner doesn't hear his own whimper. There is silence. His deadly screams remain a mystery to him, and it is the Reaper that collects it. That which is like death pulls his sickle away and steps back. It doesn't step far back, but when it steps forward it swings. It cuts. The legs of the runner fall off, and like his breath, the runner cannot catch them. The runner screams horrifically and looks down for his legs. They are not there. All he sees are stumps. Ah! He screams. But there is no use. That which is like death has occurred. Allowing the darkness to consume him, he lets go. And pleased to see him moving again, the earth returns. The two meet each other with a thud. Ah! He coughs with a jolt. Opening his eyes again, things are different. The red no longer permeates the air. The surrounding night sky is no less normal than any other night. And the runner is back in the driver's seat. The runner fights to recognize where he is. He is in a driver's seat. His passenger seat is bare, and he sees a white light approaching. What is that light, he wonders. But as soon as the light is close enough to recognize, all there is left time for is the crash. The cars crash, and there is no more silence.